Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have another episode of Evolve to review. Not as late as this time, but kind of still late. But let's jump into it. I actually got a pretty action-packed Evolve in general. They also announced that we'll have Succession number 3 coming up in June. I think they said that's going to be pretty fun. Obviously, they should have all the titles on defense there, which at the moment it seems like we'll have our normal champions, but you don't know. So we'll start off the show. It was Harlem Lewis versus Braxton Cole. Nice little mini feud. I mean, it's kind of weird when you have like kind of two heels like facing off each other. Those could be hit or miss. I think overall this feud's been okay. They're just kind of going back and forth. The match itself, I don't think was anything like to write home about. It was just a pretty solid match. The only thing I really thought was the weirdest part about it is that like the security came down afterwards, and then beat up Harlem Lewis and took him away, even though Braxton Cole was the one that, you know, technically was cheating. I mean, he got the DQ by pulling the chair off and hitting him and stuff. So I could definitely see another match possibly coming from this, but the DQ finish was a little bit weird because it felt like more like Braxton Cole would have like tried to cheat like by hiding it. It didn't feel like he would just openly cheat. It's not like a blood feud or anything like that, but overall, I put it in C. It was pretty entertaining. Good way to start off the show. Then we had news from Timothy Thatcher that Tate Wilder is being sent to NXT, which we already knew. Just awesome job. I mean, he's the perfect example of like turning shit into gold type of thing. He had a bad gimmick, bad I wouldn't say bad in ring stuff, but he was definitely trying to get back onto like the promos and the actual action, and he did both. And now he's showing that he can make it to the next round. He's going to be a very good person over there for NXT, and it'll be exciting to see what he does next. So I'll put that up in S tier. He's doing great. We also got Elijah Holyfield will be making his debut. This guy has everything that they need for wrestling. He's got the look. He's pretty okay in the ring. He just needs some help on the mic. I definitely think he's one of those guys you get an just a manager for that does all the talking for. I think he would instantly become a bigger badder target. I really think he would honestly keep running with me on this one and give him Layla Diggs and Mason Holiday and have them try the mic. I know they're also trying to get over on the mic too, but I think something like that, having a little bit of like a faction group type thing, could definitely make him better. Plus, he could be some muscle, behind the scenes of like doing some other stuff with like vignettes and promos and stuff. I think they would give him more screen time by being in a group like that. I don't think you put him with another guy at the moment unless it's some because he's just going to fall into that number two slot, or if in a big group he would probably fall to being just the muscle, and it doesn't always work. But I think they really could do something with this guy if it's done right. But I want to see what his first match is. I wonder who it's going to be against. I'll put it up in B. I have a feeling it's going to be, damn, it would always be Dante Chen normally, so I don't know, maybe like Sam Holloway, maybe one of the baby faces that came in at the end. I don't think Cappuccino Jones. Yeah, I think that probably is. We also got PJ Vasa returning next week. 50-50 on that. I feel like they just have not been able to give her what she needs on this. She's got, I would say, solid to, below solid ring stuff. Her mic skills are above. They just really need to get her to catch up on it. I think she just needs a little bit more flashy moves. She's also a perfect person like that. That would work really good in a faction or tag team that could really have her be the most dominant one, but not that she has to be on that ring 24/7. So I guess I'll put it in C. I'm not like upset, but is she just gonna have a promo or a match? Because I feel like we were already pretty stacked on the card with having Elijah Holyfield debut, so that should be a match. The women's championship match, and I think Romeo Moreno and one of the mock squads I think has a match too, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had the women's tag match, Sloane Jacobs and Nikita Lyons versus Winnie Chu and Laney Luck. And honestly, it cooked. I mean, they did pretty good stuff here. I think Winnie Chu obviously probably has the best repertoire of her moves and stuff because she is the most veteran person. Lady Luck, this has definitely been Lady Luck's best match. That's not really saying much, but that has been her best match. Sloane Jacobs looked good out there. I think I really vibe with her in general. I think she could definitely do something here as a heel. And Nikita Lyons, I think like I've seen from the very beginning of when she was in NXT, then demoted to Evolve, and then try to get her back way back to NXT. She's been improving and everything that she's been doing. Selling's better, wrestling's better, Mike's better, and Sloane Jacobs got the pin on the champ, which will give her an title opportunity. I think it's a decent choice. It's probably not going to be much of anything. It's either going to be Nikita Lyons turning on Sloane because she's jealous, or Sloane just straight up losing, which should be the call. But we'll see that next week, so I'm excited. This match I'd put in a solid B. I could possibly put it a little bit higher because I did like the match, but I think overall it was just kind of there to do other stuff, and I think it didn't focus on Wendy Chu enough, and didn't put enough damage on her to take this pin, even though it was kind of like multiple getting hit by both of them. I think she could have got a little bit more offense against her, and I think that would have helped her. Like, oh, she lost, but she also took like a ton of hit. This match, though, I'm kind of excited for, so I'm gonna put it up in A. Be a nice way to start off the or for the next week's show. Then we end up with Aaron Rourke versus Tristan Angles. Like I said before, Tristan just looks like $1,000,000 out there with that gimmick and everything down pat. I was watching it with a British person, our community member, Deku, and he absolutely hates his guts because it's the wrong spot part of Britain. But I think that if anything makes it better that he plays his character great when people just genuinely hate his character because of the way he's acting. And that's what a good heel can do, where you just genuinely hate the person just for existing. And I think that works out perfectly here. The match itself was really good. I do feel like Aaron Rourke obviously is a solid wrestler. I think at any time they could easily move him up to NXT. I think he's kind of one of those guys that likes being kind of an independent person and not being completely tied down unless they really have a clear vision for him. Tristan Angle's like, I think he's already up in NXT. I think this is probably his last match. I could possibly see maybe one more, but I really don't think we ever see him again after this, which is a great thing when you talk about Evolve. As long as like you're not getting released and you're getting moved up and having something, he's already in the Mr. NXT pageant thing that they're doing as a storyline on NXT. And I think that instantly already puts him into a rivalry with Shiloh Hill, and everything's working out for him. But going back to the match, I think everything in this match was great. Honestly, it was just one of those solid matches. Showed why Aaron Rourke's a good champion. Tristan Angels did everything right in this match. I'd put it in a solid A. I thought it was definitely the match of the night and moved up the overall card. But obviously, Aaron Rourke retained. Then the Mob Squad came down there. I keep calling them the Mog Squad. Maybe it is Mog, but I thought it's Mob. Either way, these Aurelus heels came down and tried to jump them, and then the team of baby faces had to come down, which was Cappuccino Jones, Marshall. I always call Marshall Mathers. It's Mathers, but it's not Marshall. Every time it's because it's freaking Slim Shady's name. But Marcus Mathers, and then Sam Holloway. So we got to see some of the returning people come back. This would be a great 8-man tag match that they could probably do at Secession if they didn't want to do a championship match. I think it would be kind of a letdown, but I think that could be a good stepping stone. Like even possibly with the 8-man tag match, having like Abrams pin Aaron Rourke and getting the match at Secession. Something like that could be cool. So I like the storyline. I'll put up an A. Overall, solid B plus show. I would probably just put it a little bit lower because I feel like overall it just was like one of those things. You watched it, you enjoyed it, and it was good. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with a B plus show because sometimes SmackDown, most of the time SmackDown, I would not rate higher than a C. So I definitely think that they've been doing solid, and just continue the work as when we go to Session 3 and everything else. I think all that will be great. But if you guys like these videos, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to get better about getting these on time, but they might be a little bit slow here and there just because it's such a terrible time to have to record them after work at like 2 in the morning and then get them up the next day. Sometimes it just misses out because of stream and stuff like that. But until next time, this has been Japan. Bye, guys.